I feel like I've been a generalist my entire life, and I just did not have the words to put to it. And I think growing up, it was viewed almost negatively. It was called unfocused, or like, oh, you're too distracted, right? So I've always been this way. Growing up as a kid, I was into sports. I was a competitive swimmer. I was in drama. I did debates. I did music. I was in 6 like bands and choirs and stuff. And I just loved the process of learning and meeting other people who are passionate in learning. And so I've always been this way, right? And it wasn't until I think I read the Epstein book, Range, where I'm like, oh, this is actually okay and not a problem, right? That, you know, in a world where things are a bit more chaotic and require people to have slightly more flexible mental models around things, that this kind of, you know, interdisciplinary obsession is not just a, you know, tolerated thing, but it could actually be seen as a strength. So I think I found my way to sort of make sense of my life by combining all these things together into now being a founder, where it does require you to, in my mind, to kind of be spanning a bunch of different areas and have what I call like rare complementary skills. So I just see myself as a generalist in my company. So the main job I have, Peak, it is a finance app, right? But I tell a lot of people that it's actually more of a viewpoint on the behavioral science behind how people think about money and make those decisions. And I came to that because I've been obsessed with behavioral science for a long time. I mean, I have ADHD, and it was my way of trying to make sense of how my brain works, right? If you're not normal and trying to explain why your brain doesn't work like everyone else, like you become very kind of in tune with that. I did a bunch of stuff at Google with some of the coolest people in behavioral science, like Maya Shankar, who used to work for Obama, doing behavioral science experiments. So I think that piece has always been there, right? So that's one part. But I'm also a big believer in the power of money or healthy relationships with money to empower you to do the things you love in life, right? It's never about, hey, I want to make as much money as possible, but money could allow you to, like for me, have the freedom to live abroad, but then fly home whenever I wanted to see family, right? That value to me is that familial connection. Or money also buys autonomy, right? I got to quit my job at Google and build cool stuff without the constraints of a big company. So I combine these things, right? The love of understanding how money can be empowering plus behavioral science. And then of course, AI as well. And like that weird combination is what leads to something like Peak.